Harry and Meghan's downgrade on the royal family website had a strong impact on the witches' plans. This move by the palace still does not satisfy many people. They have resolved the Sussex couple's part, yet the children in the line of succession have not. There has been so much controversy surrounding Meghan's pregnancy. There are concerns about how they were born in addition to the fact that they were kept hidden for so long. However, now Meghan brings her kids out of the dungeon. Let us analyze this in video, and welcome back to the Royal News 365 channel, my friends. Both Meghan and Harry's children are entangled in questions about their identities, all because Meghan lied a lot and had controversial behavior during her pregnancy. When the official royal family website had updates about the couple, we were hoping they would address the Archie and Lily part as well. Contrary to many people's expectations, although there is no mention of two children in the Sussex couple's bio, they are still present in the line of succession. Remember when the Archie announcement was released? There is a lot of confusion reported. When the child was born, the palace wasn't sure. Where? Well, let me see, Frogmore. Where is the mother? In labor. At home. Then Harry weighs in with Spare, and has Meghan leave the hospital a couple of hours after delivery, which is when you would leave if you were picking up a baby freshly delivered for you. The climax was pushed up when there was information that Royal's official account posted the line, "This is a public announcement." The Duke and Duchess of Sussex used the services of a surrogate. "We apologize for any misunderstanding." This line was deleted shortly after. I missed this moment, yet I understand why many people believe in the surrogacy theory. Surely you haven't forgotten the moon on her belly. We all know that children not born of the body are not eligible to receive titles or stand in the line of succession. Yet Prince Archie and Princess Lily remain. Much is being hinted about the Sussexes finally being meted their comeuppance sometime soon. However, if this comeuppance involves surrogate births, how would the royal family acknowledging that Archie and Lily were born via surrogacy be anything yet a disaster for the crown? Now it seems like the royal family is faced with two choices: tell the truth or cover up. However, if it is for Parliament to resolve, then it seems to me that Parliament could. It could enact legislation that requires certification by appropriate independent parties that the circumstances of the pregnancy and birth of the child meet the requirements to be included in the line of succession. If one does not wish to comply with these terms, take your children out of the line of succession voluntarily. I think that is what Harry and Meghan should have done, if indeed their children were not eligible and they did not want the scrutiny. It would have fit their narrative at the time, and no one would have cared. There are more than 20 people in the line of succession, and most of them aren't living in Britain. It's such a long list that it's irrelevant to police anyone who isn't in immediate line to the throne. Harry is just as irrelevant as if he was 50 or 500. His kids are even more irrelevant, and I think the British royal family has missed their chance to remove them based on surrogacy rumors. I thought about the situation where they thought Harry wouldn't be able to touch the crown, so they turned a blind eye to the two children. Like the children may be on the list, yet we will try to protect the Welsh family. Harry is irrelevant, and that is an opportunity for Meghan to continue to take advantage of her children. As long as they are still on the gold list, she understands that attention is still focused on her. Meghan is smart enough to understand that their story is one of fascinating topics. She can't blatantly lie about them. It has been customary for royal babies close to the throne to be signed off by royal doctors who were present at the birth, and I think these signatures featured on the announcement board traditionally displayed by the palace. I think having private births with no medical affirmation is a bad idea if the children are genuinely born of the body. However, I suppose the plus side is that it keeps the Sussexes and their putative progeny constantly discussed on social media. She has no problem lying and being a victim. My feeling all along has been that she was a mess due to the bump failure when Harry got home, so they both contrived this suicidal story for cover and to get the press to back off. With the UK's strict privacy/medical laws, I don't see how the palace or royal family could legally even publicly reveal and divulge any private information without parents' permission without breaking the laws. First, they would have to have access to her medical records, doctor, surrogate, etc., to be able to 100% be able to prove that she didn't give birth herself. So in other words, even if proof is not based on private medical information, like her on tape saying it, revealing it may be just as serious as violating private medical info. Lastly, if someone publicly reveals that they have proof she was never pregnant, wouldn't it in essence be publicly revealing that the children were born of surrogacy, and that would be a violation of their private medical information? It also begs the question of how the royal family got hold of her private medical records. Unless Meghan told them, or her moon bump fell out in front of them, how would they know for sure? We can clearly see that Meghan has a strong card to play. I think this is an extremely sensitive, complex subject, and most importantly, children are involved, which I think anyone could understand in handling any public acknowledgement with the utmost extreme care. If the surrogacy had been disclosed at the time when Harry and Meghan were popular, there would have been an uproar, breach of privacy, etc. However, their behavior over the years means that people would understand the family and legal conundrum. Once the Wales kids are adults and leading their own lives, the line of succession will become a moot point, and the Sussex kids will slip further down. I think this is a long game for the palace. When editing the website, they have to consider a lot. Eliminating them requires uncovering many secrets, and if they do that, Meghan would scream racism. I think Meghan and Harry blackmailed the family or threatened them. I think Lily most certainly was by surrogate, though I'm just not sure. There are only two ways the surrogate story could come out. The Harkles tell all, or the surrogates tell all. A while ago, that was unlikely to happen. However, now I have more hope for it. Meghan lives for sizzle attention and is obsessed with money. So my bet is she will disclose someday when needs money and has a huge craving for media hype. You also saw that she was spreading the news about taking photos of Archie and Lily right when she failed at Princess of Wales's comeback and was demoted at the same time. I can bet that Meghan will sell the surrogacy story to the highest bidder once the kids are older and are no longer potential cash cows for her. She wouldn't care if it would destroy their reputation or fuck up their head. They most likely will need therapy for life anyway with those two as parents. I wouldn't put anything past her. Meghan will probably moan that the British royal family made her get a surrogate because she will spin it to say that they didn't want her blood in the family and that they made her so stressed and worried that she gave up the joys of carrying a child to keep it healthy. I wouldn't be surprised if the palace found out about the Meghan surrogate after she announced the pregnancies and the royal family didn't want to disgrace her and worked to save her ass like they always did when she was a working member of the firm. I don't think it would hurt the royal family if Lily were revealed to be born by a surrogate. The Harkles were in the US. It was the middle of the pandemic shutdown, and the firm could have accepted the birth without question if the royal family had believed that Archie was born of the body. The real problem would be explaining the British royal family's complicity if they had knowledge or strong suspicion that Meghan did not carry Archie. It would be a huge scandal in any case. The British royal family has put Archie and Lilibet on the line of succession and given them the titles of prince and princess. If it turns out the children, especially Archie, were not born to Meghan, the royal family will have some explaining to do because they have not spoken up about the matter. I realize people believe that the royal family should have known, yet unless they had a report directly from doctors stating that Meghan was not pregnant and did not give birth, what could they do? Meghan is very sneaky, and she'd have no problem lying to them. They may have been suspicious of the pregnancy and birth, yet due to medical privacy laws, their hands were tied. Even though I have no idea what the family dynamics are, I assume they're quite a bit different from an average family's dynamics as far as close contact with other members of the family during her pregnancy. It's not like the royal family is a large extended family living in a 4-bedroom house where it would be difficult to hide anything. Add in the fact that Meghan felt entitled to do whatever the F she wanted and had enough privacy to successfully deceive them. Meghan's pregnancy was nobody's business. She is protected by medical privacy. Whether or not baby Archie came from her body, however, should be a matter of public record. There should be a certificate of live birth signed by the attending physician that states that Archie was born to Meghan. Claims that Archie was born to a surrogate rest on the suggestion that there is no such certificate of live birth or that whoever signed as attending physician lied. I rewatched the Oprah interview and the nonsense about they won't give Archie a title. However, that's because Archie was not eligible for a title when he was born. Only the grandchildren of the monarch get a prince or princess title. The Wales kids were exceptions because William was the direct heir, and the late Queen decreed that all his kids would immediately have titles. Archie and Betty got their titles the instant King Charles became king because they were now the grandchildren of the monarch. So there was never a problem, other than the Harkles refusing to accept rules and throwing a tantrum, and using that situation to insinuate racism. It's also in line with Harry being so blinded by jealousy of the Prince of Wales that he's obsessive about things being equal with what he has. Harry and Meghan, very deliberately, very consciously lied and aimed their arrow at the heart of the Queen and the monarchy by saying that Archie wasn't a prince at birth due to concerns about his skin tones. That's what those two disgusting, slanderous snakes said. They know very well the royal family aren't racist, and they know very well why Archie wasn't a prince upon birth. I stand by my speculation that the Harkles wanted the Queen to issue new letters patent to change the rules so Archie would be born a prince, just another way to be as important as the now Prince and Princess of Wales. Queen said no, and they kept Archie from her, and the family and Megxit soon followed. Just let the pure slander and consciousness of their lies sink in. They are evil. Just think, if Meghan had been carrying a baby when she decided she just didn't want to be alive anymore, wouldn't Harry have called her obstetrician-gynecologist away? Wouldn't he have been escorting her to regular medical appointments? Were there any of those in her diary? And if there were, why would she go to Palace Har? Why wouldn't she call the doctor who was overseeing her pregnancy? Because she was not seeing a doctor. The truth is that Meghan calculated quite carefully. Random thought is the reason they changed the surnames to Sussex, related to the so-called bombshells due to come out. She changed their last name to Sussex because if they divorced, she could still be called Meghan Sussex. So are her children. Her Sussex children will become her cards to use whenever needed, like right now. She called in a photographer to take pictures of Archie and Lily. I'm not sure if she published the photos, yet Meghan is trying to pull back the headlines. Will there be any reunion between these kids and the royal family? The rumor that no one has met those children. It is about time the royal family stopped the silence nonsense and started denying the lies Meghan places in daily newspapers. The photo from Archie's christening looks very fake and appears to be a composite. I don't believe much in the possibility that all members have met the child. My son's photo was picked up, yet the christening photo got very little dissecting, almost only mentioned in passing, whereas it is much more fake and much more important as a photo. This will also be a warning to Meghan about her plans with these children. She wants to take a swipe at Catherine with the mommy and baby photo of her own. However, be careful and adjust a little if you don't want to be criticized. Why does she have to announce that photos are being taken of the kids ahead of time? That's so weird. She always has to have her name in the headlines. She thinks announcing her every move will keep people interested, yet it does the opposite. She always announces everything they do ahead of time. She just can't help jumping the gun. It's weird and so predictable about her. I guess she is greedy for the preview attention as much as for the actual event attention. And how will she endeavor to suddenly endear two unknown toddlers to a public very much accustomed and attached to the whale's children? Children who have been in the public eye since birth. Children who have been taught and raised to be in the public eye by stable and attentive parents. She hasn't thought this through at all. A single photo shoot of her kids is not going to garner sustained interest or translate into sales. The children would have to be regularly seen at events or in videos and photos. And that comes with a big, big risk that her sheltered children might not always look or behave as perfect little beacons shining upon her motherhood. A narc mommy requires perfect children at all times. And if she does begin pimping her kids out for photos, etc., then she'll be hit with hypocrisy claims and claims she is violating their privacy. She can't win by trotting out those kids now. This is going to fail in a big, big way. She is not satisfied by the way they look, or else she would have shown off by now if they were whales kids level cute. Since everything is a competition for her, this is what I think as well. There's something that's not perfect enough about them for her to show them off yet. It's nothing to do with privacy. The car will be front and center no matter what. The only reason she's keeping the whelps under wraps is her narcissism. They take too much attention away from her. There is also her vanity, which dovetails with her narcissism. She wants to be seen as young and fresh, and that doesn't quite jive with attentive mother. She just uses those children to draw traffic to her shitty Sussex site, even if Harry will only allow the backs of their heads at the kitchen island, while Mama inspires them to face the camera. If they want the kids to have a private life, then they shouldn't have taken titles for them to be in the line of succession. The kids aren't seen because Meghan doesn't want them seen. She will show them when she is good and ready if she thinks it's to her benefit. This makes me wonder, isn't Harry always complaining about his kids' privacy? Why did he agree to let Meghan do that? I highly doubt Harry has any say about anything in that family. What Meghan wants, Meghan gets. He isn't even there. How can he protect those kids when he is not with them? Harry put those kids in his reality show. Harry is, by his own admission, an absentee dad. He supposedly lives with these children, yet he is an absentee dad. Harry does not care about those children at all. He has already violated their privacy himself. I believe that's what really pissed him off. They weren't there, and I don't believe he liked his children being a part of their lies. So he didn't hold back when asked about it on a podcast. Harry has no pants to wear in this relationship. Meghan won't give a flying feck what Harry wants. If she wants to march the kids will be marched. She will probably use the kitty pictures if they exist to try to compete with Catherine when she comes back, or show the divorce court that she is the only one with a connection to the kids, Harry always being away. That's the last card for her to play. People will talk about it for a few days, and they will be forgotten. I hope she tries to use edited photos because that will blow up in her face spectacularly. No one really cares about seeing kids. It's just weird that a person who identifies so strongly as a mom is never seen with them. Maybe there's curiosity about what they look like. However, beyond that, not interesting. I always thought the only thing Meghan allowed Harry to dictate was not merchandising the kids. So this revelation about having a photo shoot of the kids means she is desperate and somehow convinced Harry this is the last bastion of hope for them to gain fortune. If the Harkles reveal their kids, that's a big if. Meghan is a big talker. It gets her attention, which is all she craves other than money. I'll believe it when I see a photo published. Until then, it's all just more Harkle words for their purr fluff. The photos were probably for her jam and butter website. In the case of children being photographed, I think Meghan will be disappointed if she ever gets around to showing current pictures of those kids because the vast majority of people don't care. They haven't seen these kids growing up and changing. There's no connection. I don't know how she'd react to that. Not well, I'd assume, yet it's probably better for those kids if Harry gets his way and continues to shield them. That brings us to the end of my video. Hope you agree with my point of view. If not, please comment so we can discuss it. Don't forget to like and share the video so YouTube can recommend similar videos. And if you want to receive notifications about the latest videos, please subscribe. We will be back soon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.